The House Judiciary Committee is launching its own bipartisan investigation into the details surrounding Epstein's death. Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs sits on the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, we thought this autopsy report would solve everything. It hasn't. One person, by the way, who was overseeing that autopsy was medical doctor Michael Bodden, world-famous forensic doctor, working for some of the people involved, I think the Epstein estate, et cetera. He's under gag order, so he may have something to say. What do you want to find out about all this?
Well, David, first of all, this is a situation that is ripe for conspiracy theorists to go wild on. So we want to find out in the Judiciary Committee all the procedures, all the protocols, whether they were followed, why Mr. Epstein was left alone. Also, I mean, when you start looking at it, it just lends itself to conspiracy theory. So we want to get to the bottom of it, see if we can find out and understand, because it really goes to the credibility of the Federal Bureau of Prisons.
Well, you want to get to the bottom. Let me go to the top of the conspiracy theories. Number one is, do you suspect that any of the VIPs that have been mentioned in the various depositions against the Epstein estate found a way to get to Epstein?
Well, there's no evidence of that whatsoever, but it doesn't mean that the vast majority of people, David, I can't talk to friends, family, constituents there's no one who believes it was a suicide, regardless of what the enemy said.
Hold on a second, because there is someone who believes, and that's the medical examiner, and she, in this case, is a very experienced medical doctor, and she said it was a suicide. So there are some people who say it was. She's in a position to know, but a lot of people outside of that position have suspicions.
Right. I'm not going to the credibility of her report or her findings. What I'm talking about is you've got a guy who allegedly committed horrendous acts. He's tied into rich and powerful people that could be exposed. You have victims all over the place that want justice. This is the type of scenario where the credibility, the enemy can't win either way, but the credibility of the Bureau is at stake, and so we have to get to the bottom of it and find some real concrete answers to what happened there.
And hopefully Attorney General Barr will do that. I mean, he wants to do that. Presumably it'll just go to exactly what happened in our federal prison system that got screwed up so terribly in all this. Do you trust Barr's investigation, or do you think an extra congressional investigation is necessary?
Well, if there's one person in the administration that is full of gravitas, it is certainly Attorney General Barr, and so I believe that he's going to get to the bottom of this. But I think Congress, I do agree with Chairman Nadler and Ranking Member Collins. The Judiciary Committee should be looking at this very closely as well.
And by the way, whether or not his death was a suicide or something else, there are still investigations ongoing about those VIPs. I can go through a list of all of them, but I won't do it right now because they've just been accused in depositions. But presumably there will be investigations, whether it's civil or criminal, into whether they were involved with Epstein.
Well, the Attorney General has said the investigation is going to go forward. They're going to see if there are other charges that should be brought. Is there evidence to support those charges, of course? And I trust the Attorney General, and I think he's going to get to the bottom of this thing. But it's going to take it's going to take perhaps certainly more months, but maybe even years before we get to the bottom of this.
All right. Well, one thing that's already taken years to get to the bottom of, and we're not there yet, is the origin of the Russia investigation. That continues. The Judiciary Committee, of course, has had a couple of swings at that. They haven't even hit a single, let alone a home run, as far as that goes. But AG Barr, again, is continuing his investigation. Have you heard anything about his investigation, what they're looking into, what they might have discovered?
Well, we're hearing that they're actually getting close to resolving some of the issues of the people that were involved. But you know, from the Five Eyes countries, and I think that's important. They're conducting interviews overseas, is my understanding, with people who were involved. But the bottom line here is, I believe Mr. Barr is going to get to the bottom of this. I think Mr. Durham's getting to the bottom of it. But they're doing one thing that I credit them for, is they're keeping this really tight lid on this thing. So we're getting a few leaks here and there. We're hearing a few rumors, but we're not getting the wholesale speculation that you might otherwise expect to find. The other one that we just have no idea what he's doing, and that's our friend from Utah and
John Huber?
Yeah, we don't know what he's doing at all.
And then you have the IG, the Inspector General Horowitz,
yes.
right? So you got three investigations ongoing. Is Jerry Nadler, the chairman of your committee, going to do any more?
Yes, he is. He's trying to get. He lost in court the other day, but he's still trying to get people subpoenaed in. He wants to continue the impeachment investigation. He's not pretending anymore. He's coming out with an impeachment investigation related to the Mueller findings, but there were no Mueller findings. That's the problem for Mr. Nadler. There were no Mueller findings that went his way. So he's going to continue to stir the pot as much as he can.
Well, Andy Biggs, I hope you continue to come back and tell us what's going on from the inside. Good to see you here. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate
David.
it. Have a good weekend.